When you step into the office space of Sunbird AI, you are met by a team of focused, innovative minds working intently at their stations. These are the developers behind Sunflower, the first large language model designed to understand and communicate in more than 31 Ugandan languages. Artificial intelligence language technology is their core focus. Recognizing that African languages remain underrepresented in global AI systems, the team set out to bridge that gap. In October 2025, Sunbird AI officially launched Sunflower, Uganda's first multilingual large language model built specifically to serve local communities.
Initially, about 3 years ago, we started with 6 languages. So from each major region of Uganda, Acholi, Luganda, Runyankole, Ateso, languages like that. And then we moved on to try and create resources for most of the languages. So a large goal of ours last year was to cover 30 Ugandan languages. We tried to cover all 40. That is still in the plan. But we built something called Sunflower, which is a large language model that can explain, summarize, generate content, and translate content with about 30 Ugandan languages and then 2 from the East African region.
For any AI model to function effectively, it needs data, large volumes of it. So how did Sunbird AI make this possible? How did they train Sunflower to perform tasks like translation, summarization, and question answering, all while preserving cultural nuance that global models often miss?
We started by collecting data. That data was collected in various ways following the Data Privacy Act that is in Uganda. We went to bookstores. There's existing books that people have written in different languages. There's Bibles, there's things like that. We bought those and digitized them, fed them into the system. We also collaborated with existing organizations like Makerere AI Lab, Makerere School of Languages. They have experts there in different languages that can help us translate some of the content. We also crowdsourced, so we would send prompts to people using WhatsApp and they would respond with an answer in their language that would be the accurate answer. Then we would teach Sunflower this. It's still an ongoing and expensive process because this is about 6 years later and we have gotten quite a bit of the data, but of course there's other languages where there's lower resources. So we first started by collecting the data, then we train the models, then we have an output.
Sunflower is designed to understand and communicate in over 31 Ugandan languages, as well as regional languages such as Swahili and Kinyarwanda. By doing so, it directly addresses the digital divide faced by speakers of local languages who have long been excluded from mainstream technology.
Several people who use it for all manner of things. We get some sort of idea about some of these things. Some of them are people we're working with, like Wikimedia is using it to increase the availability of local languages on Wikipedia. And so these ones give us very good content because they have a group of skilled translators. So they use Sunflower to translate, do the first translation, and then they provide comments, or places where it could have been erroneous or it could have done things better. And so we use this feedback to build a system. But for most people, even when we provide an option for feedback, they just use the system and go on with it. So
the model can translate text, summarize documents, and answer questions within local contexts. And for the developers at Sunbird AI, this is only the beginning. They say more improvements, more languages, and more community-driven innovations are already in the pipeline.
It's going to be a big deal. Right now, people may not understand the extent, but the extent is quite huge that we have technology in people's local languages and they can join the conversation, the digital revolution. So in the future, what we're trying to do in the future now is to build Africa-wide. So not only Uganda, but Africa-wide. We want people to communicate across different countries in Africa. The problems of farmers in Ghana are not very different from the problems of farmers in Uganda or in Nigeria. And if people can share this by providing tools that are cross-lingual, then this is what we want to do. So in the next 5 years, we expect to have very good tools in speech. So speech to speech, I can speak English and someone hears Acholi directly and back and forth. We expect to have coverage over several languages in Africa, at least over 100 languages, 100 key languages, at least this year. This is our plan for 2025. 26. So by 2031, 5 years' time, we hope to have covered quite a bit of space in language.
We are currently working on speech because while people can access information, not many people can read and write, but they can speak and they can listen. So we're working on adding speech, and we shall be launching actually a few of the speech models that we've been working on for this year in the next 2 weeks. So people are able to speak to the model and then get a speech response back, or speak and then get a transcription of what they're saying in a few different languages. So the goal is to cover all of the languages in Uganda, and then also cover them for speech, and then also extend to Africa as a whole.
In a world racing toward digital transformation, Sunflower represents something powerful, technology built not just for Africans, but with Africa at its center.
Sunflower is a massive win for Ugandan innovation, ensuring that our languages have a seat at the global AI table. So keep an eye on this space, because the future of African tech is vocal, local, and incredibly bright. Joram Paul Sonko, NTV Innovation Nation in Naguru, Kampala.